understand football and understand my city and understand what it is to be a Chicago Bear, man, and a fan. And I just been obsessed with it for the last, I don't know, 8-9 years. Just trying to make sure that we got a winning team as much as I can to cheer on. So I'm just doing my part. But I love the Bears, man. I just love Chicago, man. So they represent me.
Yes, I echo that. I love the city. I love the team, and I love the city, the team, the stadium. I love everything about Chicago.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah,
You love the stadium?
the food.
I do love the stadium. I will be the first to admit it's behind the times and it's outdated, and it's not 2024 anymore. But I do love I love old school stadiums still. I just do.
I mean, just
go ahead.
From the history of the stadium, you gotta love that. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
What history? I mean, come on. What history? What are we talking about? We had one special year. Other than that, it's been year after year of a lot of misery and a lot of crying. And mixed in with a lot of cussing. Because I know I've done my share.
I mean,
yeah, man.
I know this stadium deal is going to end up being what it's going to be, but I still think when I think of Chicago Bears, I still think of Soldier Field.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you the columns. Okay, yeah. I'll give you the columns.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But that's about it. I mean, that's about it. We did most of our winning when we played on Wrigley Field, for God's sake. I mean, come on.
So with that, guys, let me take care of some housekeeping. If you're watching this show, please follow us, like us, subscribe to us on whatever social media platform you're watching us on: Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, X or Twitter. And our boy Chicago Clarence has secured us a watch party, and that is at Max Speed Shop. If you live in Charlotte, nice. Concord, you know where it is. If you know where Concord Mills Boulevard is, you know where the Concord Mills Mall is, you know where this is. And the minute you walk in, just ask for Chicago Clarence. They will know who he is.
You working there now?
So, guys, with that being said, quarterbacks. Here's the quarterbacks we kept today. It is a little bit of a surprise.
Yep.
So we only went with 2 right there. So, G. Walker, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on our quarterbacks?
You know what, man? The thoughts on the quarterback situation, I actually thought after they cut Ripon, I thought Reed was going to stay, man.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to stay.
Yep.
So the fact that we're going in with 2 young guys, that's pretty much, because Tyson Badgett hasn't had that much experience playing football. He only played a handful of games when Justin Fields went down. Now you got a rookie quarterback coming in, the number 1 overall pick. No matter how special he is, he's still a rookie. So you cut the guy that was a veteran. I think Ripon was he's worked with Shane before. So you cut the guy that I think Shane was familiar with, and you cut the young boy, another young guy. You bring in, you just got 2. So I mean, I'm happy with the young boys we got. With of course Caleb, and I like Badgett. I think Badgett's going to have a good year if something happens to Caleb, because there's a new coordinator coming in. So I think they both will do pretty well with that. But going forward, I thought Austin Reed was going to stay. I didn't want to see Austin Reed leave. I was surprised by Ripon though. I was surprised. The veteran, I thought they would have picked the sorry about that. Hold on, my camera's off. I'm sorry. I thought they would have picked the veteran, one veteran over just 2. I didn't get it, man. I don't get that part. Sorry.
Guys, anything you want to add to that?
I think in 24 hours we'll have both of those guys back. So I mean, there's a chance that somebody takes that commits to ripping on a roster, but I expect they'll both be back tomorrow. And the way they've set it up, I think you can not dress one, and so really Reed is the guy they're going to teach, and Rippon's going to be the coach in the room kind of guy. I'd be surprised if either of them got brought on anywhere else. So I think we end up with all 4 anyway.
Chicago Clarence?
Well, I think 3 for sure. I could see Reed being on the practice squad and Ripon being on the sidelines holding the clipboard, wearing a cap every Sunday. It's pretty much my expectation. That's what I was going to do. As far as who we kept and the way things fell out, they said Bajan has made strides running the offense. And the preseason games we looked at, you can tell he has better command of the offense than he did last year. I saw him checking. I saw him moving protection, moving people around. He made some throws that he didn't make last year. And I still don't think he has an NFL arm. I mean, he has no zip on the ball. And I just really he worries me about being able to throw something with some mustard on it in the middle of that defense. Other than that, he's a viable backup long as Caleb doesn't get hurt and miss multiple games.
I agree with you guys. I think when a practice squad is set, we'll have either Reed or Rippon on the practice squad. Every team carries 3 quarterbacks. You have to. So I think that we will add a 3rd quarterback for sure. All right, guys, the running back room. We kept the guys in the bottom for the running back room. So, Chicago Clarence, I'll let you lead off this one. What are your thoughts on the running back room?
It's just really no surprise. I mean, I think that we all was looking at the preseason and looking at the roster, and we kind of figured that it was going to end up the way it did. I wouldn't be surprised though if something happened along the way and we moved Herbert or Rashawn. I think that it's a chance that we may move one of those guys. I mean, that Wheeler, him getting hurt kind of helped solve some of their problems. They was going to have to make a hard decision between him and Velus Jones. And for my money, I like the way Wheeler ran that ball between the tackles. He broke tackles. When he was in pass protection, he took care of his man. He kept the quarterback upright, and he ran with bad intentions. And that's what you want to see, especially in Chicago, a place with cold weather, and we get late in the season and late in ball games. You want to make the defense pay for trying to tackle you. And that dude broke tackles, and I like the way he runs the ball. So really, really disappointed he got hurt, but I think the running back room is still in very good shape.
G. Walker, anything you want to add to that?
I think that the running back room is one of the most stable, skill position groups on the team right now. You got the DeAndre Swift, the number one, the running back. He can catch, he can run, he can cut. Then you got Roschon, he's a good blocking running back. And then if you need to, you still got Herbert out there too. So, having those 3, you can pretty much do what you want to do in Shane Waldron's offense. You can throw it. You can have the guy that need to block. You can have the trick. You can throw Herbert in there to throw teams off. So I'm happy with what they did with the running backs. So I pretty much love it. I love it. I'm happy with it.
Todd, anything?
Yeah, just on the Herbert thing, there was so much talk about dealing him, and really, when Wheeler came out as well out of the gate as impressive as he was, I thought, well, this probably will go down. I mean, on the last year of a deal, let him get what you can see, you can recoup anything. But some moves are the best moves that you can make is not to make one, because next thing he's hurt, and he's a good chip to have, because backs just take a beating, and so I'm pretty happy with the room. I think it was a smart not to trade him, so it worked out good.
Running back room, I think if Wheeler wouldn't have got hurt, it would have been a hard decision. It might have came down to Wheeler and Herbert. I don't know which one we would have kept. So guys, let's go to the wide receiver room. So Todd, you're up to go first on this one. What do you think of our wide receiver room?
Well, I think that injuries played a part there too. They made a deal for Carter, so he had the inside lane there, and and they have Velus on there as a receiver, but I don't expect him to catch many. But 4 guys, they're rock solid. I think that I don't think there's anything that needs to be done there. So I mean, that is cornerback and wide receiver is the heart of the team right now.
I don't know about that.
Well, G. Walker, sounds like you have something to add, so please add on.
You said with the wide receiver. To answer your question, I think the wide receiver group is strong. You got your guy that's going across the middle, and Allen Ken. Now that's his expertise. And you got your 6'3", 4 guy, and Rome Odunze. He can pretty much go intermediate. He can go deep. He can run the ball. He can do punt returns, whatever. Then you got DJ Moore, the quick, fast guy. So the wide receiver room, it's pretty much set. Whatever Shane Waldron wants to do with those receivers, there shouldn't be an excuse. There shouldn't be an excuse to move the ball up the field, keep the chains moving with those wide receivers. You got every prototype with those three guys, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and DJ Moore. There's no excuse. But with that being said, I don't know if that's the wide receiver, the strongest group on the team. I actually think that's the cornerback position. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, those two.
Yeah.
Chicago Clarence, anything you want to add to the wide receiver room?
Well, the thing that gives me pause is we all been watching football together for a while. We know at some point Keenan Allen is going to get hurt. Yeah. Who's going to step in that role? That's the only thing that gives me pause. Because if Keenan Allen gets hurt, then all the pressure goes on to Rome Odunze. And the reason why I say Odunze and not DJ Moore is because they're just going to start doubling DJ.
True.
So the pressure goes on to Odunze to be able to make plays. And so then you got to ask yourself, is Rome Odunze a number one? Well, we don't know that right now. He's a rookie. So we got to have somebody step up and be able to move into that role. We can't say if, we can only say when Keenan Allen gets hurt because we know it's going to happen.
Right.
And
miss some games.
Tyler Scott's not that guy. I can tell you that right now.
He might be
good enough hands to be that guy.
He can be a decent slot,
but he's got to be able to catch the ball. He can't catch a cold sometimes. I mean, he drops way too many passes.
Yeah.
He was getting a lot of looks in preseason. Past two in the slot.
He was getting a lot of looks in preseason. They're giving him opportunity to be that fourth wide receiver. He caught a couple. He dropped a couple. You know what I mean? So it's still been a mixed bag for him, man.
Yeah,
but I agree with you. Keenan Allen goes down. You're not putting
Felix Jones in that spot. No way in the world we're going to trust and put him in that spot. I mean, we got him labeled as a wide receiver right now, but we know he's not a wide receiver.
Yep, I agree.
Well, at least we're not arguing about do we have a number one. We're arguing about if we have a number four, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is true.
Facts. That's so true.
Let me ask you guys something. Clarence brought up something that just came in my head. If you're a defensive coordinator, what wide receiver are you going to take away from us? Are you going to double team? Are you going to double team?
You're going to double team DJ Moore.
I'm just asking a question.
I might, you know what? I got a double team. DJ Moore. I agree. Got a double team DJ.
Todd, you're in agreement?
Yeah, well, I think that's right. And, and then.
Oh, yeah. I think he's our best wide receiver.
We got two tight ends that can catch the ball, too. So, I mean, they're going to be hard to cover.
Yeah, I do agree with you about Tyler Scott. I didn't think he had a great preseason. I thought he might have been average at best. He did drop too many balls, and he was given a lot of opportunities.
A lot, yeah.
And we've seen that every year he's been here now. He drops, and that was the knock on him coming out of school. He doesn't have great hands. We had the same problem with Darnell Mooney. Drops way too many balls.
Believe it or not,
I like the way that Shane Waldron
might mean something. Yeah.
And I like the way that Shane Waldron pretty much was giving him opportunity just to see what he could do because we had Luke Gessie last year, and a lot of people didn't like his offense. So the fact that we got to see, them pretty much implement Tyler Scott the way we all wanted to see him be implemented in an offense under the new offensive coordinator, you saw what he's capable of and what he's not capable of. You know what I mean? So I just want to give, a shout out to Shane Waldron for answering that bell to a lot of fans. Like, what is, Tyler Scott? Can he? He's like, yo, I'm gonna put him out here all these games, and we all gonna see what he's really made of because he didn't know either. So I'm glad he did that. I was glad he did it. Get somewhat to know what he really is. He dropped a few, he caught some, but I don't know. Like he's just average.
Yeah, I think he's average. So, guys, next position group, offensive lineman. This is what I feel is our weakest spot on maybe the team. So, G. Walker, you're up again to go first. What do you think of this offensive line? That's who we.
I mean, you know what, man? There were times when they said that this offensive line was good, based off pass rate, and runway blocking. But I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not a position where I'm too comfortable at. But I know Caleb Williams, if he can process faster than Justin Fields,
Yes.
that'll make the offensive line look better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wide receivers catching the ball, and because the one thing I say that, and I don't even, everybody can throw in NFL. A lot of people got an arm. But what made me like Caleb Williams the most was that he can climb that pocket. He goes around up through it and come back, and he can shrink himself. He can shrink himself and hide behind the block to find a throw. So I just think that the offensive line, I do agree with you, is the weakest skill set on this team. But if Caleb Williams, the throws that we've been seeing him make, whether it's the 45-yard throw to Cole Kmet, whether it's the bomb to Adunze, he got to get rid of the ball, man. I think this offensive line could be better than what it is if Caleb Williams comes out there and doesn't hold that ball, because he's on record for holding that ball too long too. Is it to run to run, or is it to run to throw? And I think that's what we're gonna be able to see once that offensive line start week 1.
Chicago Clarence, anything you want to add?
I totally agree with him. I mean, I think he hit it right on. The key to your offensive line and helping your offensive line is being able to get rid of that ball. And some of our knocks on Justin Fields, and I used to kill Trubisky over this, is pre-snap reads. Your job is to get up there and look at protection, protection, get out of bad plays. And Trubisky didn't do that. Justin Fields didn't do it enough. And we're seeing Caleb Williams looking at what he's got and moving people around, and that's going to be key. But you can't hold that ball. And like G. Walker said, he climbed the pocket. I mean, people want to compare him to Patrick Mahomes, but I see a lot of Russell Wilson back in Seattle days, when Seattle was a Super Bowl contender, the way he extends plays and gets rid of that ball. And so far, I like what I see, and that's going to be key. But also what's going to help them is, and Chicago's been pretty decent at this, is being able to run the ball. There's nothing better to a quarterback than a good running game. And if we're able to run the ball, that's going to help hide up a lot of our weaknesses, because I agree with also, this is definitely our weakest position. Our weakest spot is the offensive line.
Todd, anything you want to add to this?
No, I think that's right. I think that, we're, especially tackle, we're super thin right now. I mean, I don't. I think Pryor can play a little tackle, but I mean, you got Amagaj as a rookie. He's the swing tackle right now. I guess it would have to be Pryor just based on experience. But if either of those tackles go down, we got an issue. We could lose a guard and fill in, and a lot of it's going to be feel and time, and Caleb controls that. So. But as far as injuries, we were concerned about, edge being the biggest thing for injuries. It might be tackle. So
Tevin Jenkins is going to be hurt too. We know he's going to miss games. He has every single year.
And I don't want to see them try him back yet, because I mean, when they moved him inside, he became pretty special, and I don't want to kick him back out. So
he's our best run blocker, I think.
For sure.
So
I think I think that Braxton and. They gotta stay upright. So, and Darnell, that's the biggest thing.
But let me ask you guys. Man. Let me ask you: Are you guys happy with what we got at center right now?
No, but
no, not at all.
I'm not happy. I'm not. It's. I gotta see it on the field. I gotta see because like you said, Clarence, like the quarterback job is pre-snap adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Audibles. He has to know what his reads are. Like his job to make the center and everything else better. That's the key. That sometimes it's the center got to do his job, the offensive coordinator got to do his job, but that special quarterback got to make up for everybody. You got to be able to be the eraser of everything. So, like I say, Caleb Williams got a hell of a job to do, man. Like, I don't know what the center position really is going to be, but I know if he's the guy and he's up there doing his pre-snaps and all that and moving guys around and doing this, it's not going to matter, man. As long as that center is not fumbling that ball and they're not hiking to whatever they're doing, I think the center position is going to be fine. It might not be what we really want, but if Caleb is really that guy that changes this team and this offense, I kind of can be fine with what we got right now. For now, until I see, the offensive line is trash, no matter what. If it's a number one prospect of all time, then we'll see. We're like, damn, they can't even get it right with the a number one college prospect that's been this for the last 25 years. So damn, we really that bad. So we're gonna be able to see it in real time, real soon. What that center position is gonna look like with Caleb back there. I really want to see. I really want to see.
Center and guard with Nate Davis. Both those positions scared the hell out of me. And we gave up more pressure last year up the middle, up the gut with those two positions, center and guard. And last year we had Patrick and Davis, and Patrick was always getting pushed back on his ass into our quarterback. And nobody could snap the ball to our quarterback last year. How many games did we watch together? Jesus Christ, the ball's rolling on the ground. Jesus Christ, Fields up here. He's over here. He's over
Cody
here.
Whitehair.
Yeah, and Cody Whitehair.
Yeah, it was bad, man. And it killed drives.
Yes.
It killed the drive, man. If we'd be 2nd and 3, and here we go losing the ball. Now it's 3 and 9, 3rd and 9. Now you got to change the whole play. It was terrible, man. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah. So if Coleman Shelton is just average, middle of the road, that's a huge upgrade. If he just snaps the ball to our quarterback, that's a huge upgrade.
I mean, Cody Whitehair was average. Let's not act like Cody Whitehair was.
He was bad last year.
He was
a terrible snapper. He was a terrible snapper.
Let me get my charger cord for my laptop. I'll be ready. Let me get my charge cord.
He played the center position, I think, at an average clip.
Right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that Poles intended for Bates to take that job, and I think it is his job. I think we're starting our backup center right now just because he's a little beat up. So I don't.
He's got some shoulder injuries, something like that.
Yeah, I don't think he intended Shelton to be the starter. So
I think if Shelton plays well enough, they'll keep him in there. And
here's an ideal pose. How about we go sign?
Yeah.
How about we draft a center? How about that?
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Last 2 or 3 can't miss centers weren't super great. So, but that was a really good one this year. We'll see what happens. He ended up in Vegas, so that was. But where we were, that we weren't going to be able to trade back into the first round and get somebody.
I mean, we keep signing everybody else's cast-offs.
Yeah,
that's what
I haven't seen him go in and make a splash or actually a reputable attempt to get a decent center on the team.
Yeah.
We just keep picking up scraps.
Yeah, but we should have 3 picks in the top 50, and one of those guys has to be a young center this year. Has to be.
Gotta be. Yeah. That, and we're going to get to the next position. You already know where I'm going to go. I'll wait.
All right, Todd, I'll let you take the tight end room. This is pretty easy. And we knew these 3 guys were going to make the team. It's pretty simple.
Another guy that there was some thought that Blasingame wouldn't be back, and that other type, but we're rock solid at tight end. I mean, Lewis is a coach and really a guard, but Everett, is really dependable catching the ball. And I think Cole's really underrated. As far as the league goes, he could really break out this year. So I mean, I love the tight end room. So,
G. Walker, Chicago Clarence, you want to add to the tight end room at all?
Man, the tight ends, you know what? I love the guys we got, man. I think Everett's going to be good, man. Another guy that can catch. Cole Kmet's going to be good. I think we only carry 2, right? We don't. I think we cut
Lewis. We carried.
The older, the OG. Yes. So we kept the OG. So I'm cool with the tight ends, man. I think Cole Kmet's going to have an okay year, but I think he's going to be solid. But he got to catch the ball. He still drops the ball sometimes, and he catches the ball with his stomach. I never see him catch the ball with his hands. So that's a little bit scary to me sometimes when he does that. But overall, man, I'm happy with the tight end position, man. If he was a top 10 tight end last season with Justin Fields, he should be a little bit higher on the list this year with Caleb Williams. That's all I gotta say.
Chicago Clarence, anything you want to add?
Well, as long as we can get Cole Kmet to start playing with some fire. I mean, the dude has the body of a Greek god, but he plays like a god.
Clark Kent.
Clark Kent. How many times we're gonna see safeties come in there and just knock him on his butt?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why you guys are not really touching him, but that's the reason why Mercedes Lewis and Joel Irvin's in there, because we need somebody that wants to block at that position. And Cole Kmet's not a willing blocker.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why Mercedes Lewis has actually made it at 40 years old.
Yes, he is.
Because we're going to use him to block. And with the body that Cole Kmet has, it's a daggone crime that we can't get that man to stand in there and block.
Yeah, he is not. He's not physical. Like, I know we always watch the game together, and Cole Kmet catches the ball, and he usually goes down at the first contact. Like, he's not someone to truck somebody and knock them over and keep going.
That's true, man. That's true. And you know what? And the expectations are on him too. Like, you know, the expectations. We got expectations this year. No matter nobody wants to say that out loud, the expectations are here. So for him to perform the way we need him to perform, there's going to be a magnifying glass, or microscope, whatever you want to call it, on him this year. It is. He got paid. Yeah, it is what it is. So everything we're seeing, we're going to see everything in a microscope this year, whether it's the center position, whether it's Cole Kmet catching with his chest and not his hands, not trucking people, falling down. When games matter, that second end of the second the stretch of the schedule, that gauntlet, we're gonna see what Cole Kmet really made of, man. And I hope he step up for real.
Yeah, when it gets cold outside and we start trying to enforce our will on teams by running the ball down their throats, Cole Kmet has got to be that guy that we can rely on to be in there and help extend drives. I mean, you can't sit there and get, ankle tackled, shoelace tackled, or somebody that's flat out put you on your ass like we've seen the past 3 years, and we still paid the dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, overall, I like our tight end room. I mean, I think we should be fine at tight end this year. I don't think there's any questions at that position. So next position group, I am going to give Chicago clearance this one right here, defensive line.
Well, you guys already know how I feel about it.
Yes, that's why I gave this one to you first.
I think that having I think by having another defensive end is what we need. I ain't happy at what we did at the 3 technique. Eberflus has been on record saying that he needs a 3 technique for his defense to be able to go the way that he, writes it up. And we ain't got that guy. I don't care about who had a good camp. I don't care about none of that stuff, because I have not seen anything out of that 3 technique that makes me believe that the defense is ready to take another step toward championship level. I'm worried about people running the ball on us up the middle, and I'm worried about getting pressure on the quarterback outside of Montez Sweat. And God forbid if Montez Sweat gets hurt, we are cooked, because we have not shown that we can outscore people, especially in Chicago when you got 30-mile-an-hour winds and Andy Shaw is trying to get me to go to a game and it's cold as hell out there. No way. We got to be able to run the ball, and so, and on defense, you got to be able to stop the run, especially in late in games when you're trying to protect the lead. And so if we can't go get the quarterback and if we can't stop the run, what are we going to do on the defensive line? That's our weakest spot. We should have done something to address it. We had the ammunition to get it. We had the money to do it. Shame on him for not getting it done. It's my only criticism of the job he's done. He should have gotten somebody on that defensive line.
So, G. Walker, before I let you answer, can you believe this guy? He's a Chicago Bears fan, and he will not go out in the cold to watch him. Can you believe this guy?
Hey, man, you know what? Some people don't like the cold, man. It's
really right here. You just met him tonight. And he's from New York. He is from New York.
Yeah, it get cold up there too.
Yeah, but Chicago's a different kind of cold. It's a different kind of cold, brother.
You got to buy your coat from up here. You can't bring your jacket from. You got to buy your coat from here. The materials is different up here, man. You got to buy your coat from here in Chicago, man. It's gonna tear that coat up if you bring that coat from somewhere else.
So, G. Walker, I know you definitely going to add something about this defensive line. What is your thinking on this?
I mean, I'm with him, man. I don't like, I'm not sold on Javon Dexter yet, man. Like, I gotta see it. I know he came into shape and he changed his body. He got married. Everybody's saying, and he got the blessing from Montez saying he's ready to release and ready to be a beast and all that. All that I don't want to curse on here, but all that stuff sounds good. It sounds good. And he's supposed to be the guy in the middle that's supposed to stop the run, kind of like, what Akeem Hicks was doing. You
Yeah.
got to get that guy, man. And they pretty much passed on somebody that could be a 3-tech in this draft to keep this kid. I know we picked Roman Doomsday, but the fact that we didn't do anything to help that kid out through the run game is a sign I can't get past it, man, because I just can't get past that. I can't put that much faith in a guy that I know he came on late at the end of the season last year, but I'm not sold on Javon Dexter, man. Billings and all those guys. We need more, man, especially if we're going to be a potential playoff team. It just seemed like Poles kind of dropped the ball on that particular area, man. It's not many holes, but that one right there, somebody's going to exploit it, man. And it's not enough. It's not enough.
It's a glaring weakness.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Javon Dexter. I'm not sold on him, man. I'm not. Nope.
So Todd, let me ask you. You can talk about the defensive line. By Ryan Poles trading for these two guys this last week, did he just admit that he was short on the defensive line?
Yeah, well, we knew that he was. I mean, that's the but we were all thinking edge. But they keep talking about being interchangeable and going inside and outside. Maybe that's not as big a deal that you specifically have to be an edge. I think what it looks like now with the lack of names are really even. I mean, if you look down the cut list, it's receiver, cornerback. If you got anybody with any bulk that can play either side of the line, they're just going to stick. So I think what it looks to me, and giving away 6th and 7th or doing pick swaps for 6th and 7th, it looks like, hey, these guys might get cut, and let's go ahead and make a deal for these two guys now to bolster this up instead of waiting to see what actually happens. So that might be brilliant on his part if they're even just rotational guys that can produce, 3 or 4, 5 sack guys, just guys that are reliable that play every, that suit up and are able to play. So I think that looks good. And as far as the edge, I mean, Booker and I'm all on this Hardy train. That kid played his ass off. So, so that may be okay. Yeah, they're hyping the Dexter thing. I hope it's there. If it is, then then we don't really have a hole. I mean, this is a top 2 or 3 defense in the league if Dexter's what they're saying he's going to be. So,
there's a lot on Dexter this year. You can tell they are counting on him to be great. They are counting.
They want to pay him.
Yes,
they want to pay him, man.
Yes.
And he got to bring it this year, man. Like,
yes, they want him to succeed. So let's go to the next position group. So G Walker, I'll let you lead off with this one. Our linebacker group.
Yeah. The linebacker group, man. I really don't have nothing bad to say because we got a 6'6" freak of nature out there, man. We got the guy who to me kind of looks like Briggs out there and TJ Edwards, man. Then you got old Jackson. Look, the linebacking core is fine with me, man. It's fine with me. You got a tall guy that you can put in pass coverage. He kind of came on late last season, but when he did come on, he was pretty solid. Got a couple of interceptions. Then you had TJ Edwards with over 120-some tackles. You know what I mean? Sanborn and all those guys back there, man. I love the linebacker group. This is a position that I have zero concerns about, man. I have zero concerns about them at all. At all, man. At all. They're not young. They fly around. They get interceptions. You know what I'm saying? They communicate well. So I love them. I love them.
Chicago Clingers, what do you think of our linebacker group?
Our linebacker group is fire. That's the reason why I was so upset about the defensive line because, you want to be able to keep those offensive linemen from being able to get to the second level onto your linebackers. And so we got people who can make plays but we ain't got really no linebacker that can really get to the quarterback on a routine basis. That's the reason why they went and made that trade and got Taylor, but he lacks against the run, which is what I'm talking about. You're in trouble when you can't stop the run, but our linebackers are solid. I know people are concerned about Matt Sewell. He ain't played a lot, but other than him, and we still got Sanborn, and Sanborn always plays with intensity, and he's reliable. Yeah. And so when you add on, the other guys, you're right. Our linebackers are about as strong as they were since Urlacher and Briggs was in there.
Yeah, they solid, man. Like they were so much fun to watch last season with them corners, man. Like when they turned it on, it was looking like Edwards was looking like we overpaid him, and I'm like, man, what's going on with TJ Edwards? And I looked up, I'm like, this dude got 100 and how many tackles? He got how many interceptions? And I'm looking at Edmonds. I'm like, yo, they turned it on in the middle of the season. I'm like, yo,
they fly around.
I can't wait to watch
around
those guys.
Plays.
Yes,
yeah, they're gonna have to. Yeah,
and Edwards signed for. I mean, it's $4.5 million is a lot of money, but not for what he does. I mean, that was a steal. I mean,
yes, it was.
But yeah, I mean, my my complaint with the linebacker room is the fifth linebacker. Right? There's nothing to complain about if we're talking about the fifth linebacker. But Sewell didn't look like anything. I know they drafted him, so they're going to hold him because he's their guy. But Baskerville played his ass off, and I hope he makes it through the night because I'd like to have him back on the practice squad. If somebody goes down, that kid plays hard. So
they get ready to pay TJ Edwards too, man. Hey, he's going to get expensive. You got to pay Edwards too. He's coming.
Yeah, well, they've got 2 years left on that deal, but they should renegotiate that. He's a hell of a player.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, it was a 3-year deal. He's only played 1 year. Yeah. Yeah, and it was ridiculous. I think it was under $6 million a year for sure. So that's
it. Yo, that's crazy.
Yes,
that was crazy. That was like the Scottie Pippen deal from the Bulls back in the day when he signed that crazy deal with the Bulls, man. Like, and Ryan Post pulled a deal like that off in 2024 from a guy that was on a Super Bowl team, right? Well, he won it.
Yeah, he wasn't a secret. He played hard for the Eagles, But,
anyway. A steal, bro. A steal.
All right, Todd. I'll let you
sir.
I'll let you take our defensive backfield. Defensive backs. What are you thinking?
I think we had too many of them. I think if we could have dealt one, we probably could have picked up something. But, I get it. I mean, they chose Stroman and Reddy Stewart, and those guys were good. But, look, this room I think we have – if you're going to combine safeties and corners, there's not a better room in the league. I mean, Jalen Johnson is what he is, and he got his money and everything. But, man, my guy, Stevenson's my guy. A linebacker that will come up and hit somebody at the line of scrimmage. A cornerback that'll come up and tackle somebody. Those guys just don't like to do that, and he loves to do that. It's by far my favorite group on the team, and it's the best group on the team.
Yep.
So,
Chicago Clearance.
There's nothing bad to say about him.
Yeah. Or Jay Walker, anything you want to add to the defensive backs?
I mean, I remember. I'm gonna say this. I remember before we got the Montez deal done, and everybody was talking about let's get rid of JJ. That's not Pam. I said, man, you do not get rid of your number one corner who's going to be better with a pass rush. And after Montez Sweat got here, he became a top 5, top 3 corner. He maybe was top 10-ish before the trade. Now he's top 3, top 5, and that lets you know how much a pass rush. How important it really is for a secondary. Yeah. So the fact that the guy was like maybe he was good, he wasn't catching interceptions, and now that we got a pass rush, Flus is going to be pretty much sending blitzes. He's catching those interceptions that he didn't catch before because the pass rush is coming. So a half a second more, he's getting to those balls. But Tyreek Stevenson pretty much was I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler this year. Led the league. Yeah. Led the league, I think, in interceptions for a rookie. I think last season. Who else is there in that secondary? Which we got the safeties back there. It's just a good group, man. I'm extremely happy with Brisker and who else? The other safety back there.
Great.
Kyler Gordon looks really good.
Kyler Gordon, oh my God!
Yeah.
I put a video up of him crushing that quarterback from the Bengals, bro. Like, dude, this is a third string quarterback. Eberflus sent the message, man. He sent the message like, this is crazy, man.
Yeah, Byard's the old guy, the other safety, the old guy in the room. But man. He's been solid where he's played. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But I think Owens can play behind him, and hey, if they can play corner, some of them can play safety too. You can switch those guys around. So I don't know.
So we taking 6 into the season, right? 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
10 total,
yeah, 4 safeties, yeah, right, yeah.
Oh, I'm in corners. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm stuck in the corner.
Yeah, 6 corners. Yeah.
Chicago Clarence, you want to add to the defensive backfield at all?
Well, I mean, I'm in agreement with Todd. I think it's our strongest position on the team.
Yeah.
We're extremely deep there. And from what
Mhm.
I've seen from preseason, the way all those guys made impacts that got a chance to play. Even Owens, after he came back from watching his wife play in the Olympics, came back and looked really good. Looked like he knows the plays. I mean, he came over for Green Bay. Looked like he knows our defense, knows what he's doing out there. Gordon being the corner that's going to guard the slot position, I think that's good because he's a legitimate number 2 corner. But you got him in the 3 position, so that's good. And I'm a Jaquan Brisker fan, man. I mean, I love the way that kid plays. And Jalen Johnson and Stevenson, like you, Todd, I love Stevenson. I like his intensity. He doesn't take a play off. And you know, if you catch that, he's that, or you're gonna get your head knocked off.
Yeah.
So
you keep throwing over there, he gonna put a lick on you. You might get him for a penalty here and there.
Yeah, you might get it, but you're gonna feel it. You're gonna think again. And next time it's time for that ball gets coming your way, you're gonna win.
Yeah, he gonna get you. He gonna get you. He gonna get you.
I agree with you guys 100%. I think our defensive backfield I think it's arguably one of the best in the NFL, if not the best, or it will be by the end of the season. I mean, we are super strong, and some team is going to get some good players, and Strowman and Reddy Stewart. Those guys are not going to end up on our practice squad. So
I think Strowman probably gets a deal. Stewart might slip through. We'll see.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys something. There's a lot of talk about Micah Parsons and what's going to happen with Micah Parsons. You know, the Dallas Cowboys just signed CeeDee Lamb to a huge deal. They either got to sign Dak Prescott or let him go.
Right.
And they're not going to be able to sign all 3 of those guys because all 3 of those guys will eat the entire roster cap space. So they can't. So one of them 3 is going. So let me ask you guys, Micah Parsons, would any of you guys trade for him? The rumor is he wants $30 million plus in 3 first-rounders is what it's going to take to pry him away. Would any of you make a deal for Micah Parsons? Anybody?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You would trade for him.
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
You gotta look. One thing I've learned about Ryan Poles, he likes talent that's young and can produce in their prime. So you got Montez, who's like 26, 27. You got Jalen Johnson that's like 24, 25. You got all these blue chip guys that are young. You got Darnell Wright. You got all these guys that are young. So he is the prototype of a player that he would want on his team. And you still have Caleb Williams on a rookie contract. Still on a rookie contract.
Yeah,
so if you're looking for a rusher or the guy that can get to the quarterback, you can put him anywhere. If they're serious, you got to make this deal, man. And I'm telling you, Poles is looking at this deal. If he can get him, he's going to get him. He's going to get Mike. I think he's going to try his best. He tried to get Judon, but they wanted a 3rd round pick. He didn't want to give it up. So, but you can get a Micah Parsons if you don't pay Dak. You got me what? I mean, Caleb. Hold on, real quick. Did you saw Caleb retweet that one guy's post about?
That's what
hey man, you got it. Hey, I would do it. I will do it. I do not care. I do not care.
The fact that they want 3 first-round picks. If you want to go to the next level, and so far every move that's been made tells us that's what Poles is doing. You got to do this deal. I know that we are hesitant because of Khalil Mack. The Khalil Mack trade was the right move to do, and I'm gonna tell you why. The only reason why it didn't work and it didn't come to fruition is because we didn't have a quarterback. Right. We put all our eggs in the basket, and people thought that Mitch Trubisky was the guy. They should have listened to me because I told you the night we drafted him that he wasn't. But still, they swung for the fences, And so the fact now that if you look at that team that we had when we drafted Mac, it's eerily similar to what we got right now on defense.
I don't want to piggyback on that when you finish.
The only difference that I have is that defensive line is a little stronger than what we got on our defensive line. But our secondary is stronger, and our linebackers are better than that team. You put Micah Parsons on that defensive line, we're talking about a whole new ball game, buddy. And we got 2 guys that could go get the quarterback. And Micah Parsons is stout against the rim. You put him on this team with that offense, to what we projecting that we're going to have on offense, and nobody's going to tell me that San Francisco 49ers, the Green Bay Packers, and the Detroit Lions, who we manhandled every time we play, is better than us.
Talking, boy.
Right.
Michael Parsons takes us to a whole different level. I don't give a damn we got to give up 3 picks. I couldn't sign that trade sheet fast enough.
And I got to agree because
and that's
just to piggyback on that, man.
They're throwing out there too.
Just to piggyback on that point about how it started with Khalil Mack and how we have Mitch Trubisky, you got to look at it like I agree with you because he wasn't ready. Once you have a project quarterback like that, and you pretty much put a franchise player like Khalil Mack on your team, they have to match as far as production. Your quarterback has to match that type of production. And I think the expectations changed for Trubisky once we got Khalil Mack. Because I was like, okay, we got Mitch Trubisky. He's a project. But once I saw that Khalil Mack trade went through, I was like, this is a good trade. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't think we're ready for this type of player to be on our team because the quarterback is not ready. But now you have a number 1 overall pick, like you're saying, is looking very similar. That is 20 times better than Mitch Trubisky coming out of college. You got 3 number 1 wide receivers. You got a secondary. You got a linebacker core. If this is the time to strike and hit the iron while it's hot, this is a time to make an alter. This is it. So I really believe Poles is going to do his due diligence probably for the next year or 8 months or whatever, and he's going to be working on this deal, man. He's going to be working on this deal.
Todd, would you make it? Todd, would you make it?
Yeah, I mean, I the 3 is a lot to swallow, and that's what they're saying right now. So
yes,
you might put together some kind of other package like that, but it's certainly 2+, whatever that is. I don't know if it's 3 1s, but I think if we're that player away, and we might be, and we're closer. I think we're at least as close as Dallas is to winning right now. So. But I think if it comes out as them having.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, Todd.
There's 3 1s. I think that's what they're saying they're looking for, but that's never happened before. So it's been 2 for. They tried to do 2 for Burns, and it was 2 for Mack, but I would do plus, and I guess I would do it if I had to. Now, if we were that one, if we needed a superstar defensive player that's going to push us over the top. And it might. And I think, it's the right player at the right time.
And the only reason why the Mac deal hurt the way it did is because we didn't freaking win. We went 12-4, then we go 8-8 back-to-back years when we needed a first-round pick. So now we were sitting back there wishing we had those first-round picks back. But you give up these first-round picks and we win with Michael Parsons because right then you get Michael Parsons on this team and you got no excuses. You ain't got one now. I ain't trying to hear it. But you get Michael Parsons on that defense, and I'm telling you right now, the expectations go through the roof because our offense right now is way better than what it was with Trubisky. And the only thing I'm going to disagree with you on G. Walker, is Mr. Trubisky was never a project because we gave up 4 picks to get his ass. You don't give up that many picks for a project. That dude was supposed to be the savior, and he was not. And I told you that at all. When they called his name, he was not the guy. And they didn't listen. And we here we all years later, still feeling the pain. But this right here, Poles, go for it.
Get go for it, Yeah, he wasn't ready at all, man. I'm like, I was cool with not having Khalil Mack because I'm like, we don't have it's Mr. I'm like, so what? I'm like, yo, they got Khalil Mack and now
man, we got to tell you the story of the night Trubisky was drafted. I almost got locked up and kicked out the bar.
Yes.
I lost my shit. It was bad.
I understand, man. That set us back, bro. That set us back.
Oh my God, did it not? 4 picks to move up 1 spot to get a guy that was going to be there regardless?
Right. You just hit a nerve, G. Walker. That's one thing that sets him off is the Mitch Trubisky trade.
But was I not right? Did I not tell you guys?
Yeah,
you were right.
I called it sitting in the bar. It was the worst pick in NFL draft history, giving up what we did to move up 1 spot to draft a guy nobody wanted.
Yeah, well, you knew the player. You watched Carolina football. I'd never seen him play.
It's people who get paid to do the same thing I was doing.
I know. Oh, yeah,
should have known.
Yeah, of course.
So, guys, so I'm looking here. We gave up a first, a third, and a 6th to get Khalil Mack.
Did we?
Yes, I'm looking right now. We got 4 draft picks.
I'd do that deal.
So let me ask you guys something. Say we trade for Micah Parsons. He's wanting rumor is he wants to be the highest paid player in the game, highest defensive player. So just say we give him $30 million.
Mhm.
How do we start paying guys next year? Because we're not going to re-sign Keenan Allen next year.
You
We don't have to.
restructure like
Yeah.
everybody else does.
We don't have to. We
Borrow
don't have to
against the future.
re-sign Keenan Allen next year, but you
Yeah.
give Michael Parsons a 4-year deal.
Yeah,
That's what
But
you
we
do.
we can sign both of them. You just borrow from the future like every other team does.
like Ryan Pace did, and we
You
had
get a little window open and you take it. That's what you
like
have to
Ryan
do.
Pace left us with a $54 million cap hit the first year of Poles is
Right.
because we had to pay a debt.
Because he went for it to save his own job.
Yes, he did.
Getting Mike and Parsons is an immediate return on your investment, man.
Yeah,
Those picks
you're
and those
automatically
picks are
Super
probably
Bowl
going to be.
contender.
Yeah, you're instantly a Super Bowl contender. Those picks are probably going to be late first rounds. It's going to be weird. Like, it's not even going to matter because we're going to be so competitive, going forward. So you're giving up 3 first-round picks. They're going to be 29, 30, and it don't even matter, man. Like,
not to mention we got the Panthers' second-round pick next year. That's going to be a high second-round pick.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So
we've got 3 picks in the top 50 coming up. So give them all 3 of those.
Why not do it?
Just to answer your question, Andy, we got to pay him. Give him the money, man. Like, do you want to win or not? Do you want to take over the North or not? Do you want to take the North back like you told us on your first press conference? This is the move. This is the move, man.
Yeah.
This is the move.
Forget about the North. We're taking over the NFC. He gets Michael Parsons on that team.
Nobody would want to see that, man. With that secondary and them corners and them safeties, Montez and Dexter, then you add Micah. This is you're an instant Super Bowl contender, man.
You talking about the NFL catching hands from the Chicago Bears for a while.
So let me ask you guys on a very serious note. We all have followed Ryan Poles. We all see him talk about staying in his lane. If it's not in his lane, he does not make the deal
at all.
Honestly, is he gonna? You think there's any chance he does this? Any chance?
Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance.
He loves the deadline trade. So I mean, maybe if Dallas isn't any good or Dallas isn't looking at the playoffs, for sure you try to make it happen.
And you got to remember the cap goes up every year, man. The money is like the monies go up every year, man. So you can't see. Poles is smart enough to understand the business side of things. Like the money is the money. It's going to go up. We're going to go up. It's going to go up every year with him on our team or not. These picks are going to be late first round picks. Him and Ian, they're going to do their due diligence on that, man. I can guarantee you. I guarantee he's going to look into that.
They'll
and ask his agent, what does he want?
Restructure what do y'all Montez. They can
because you know what's going to happen.
They borrow money from everywhere. That's what they do.
Yeah, Dallas is going to fall off because Dak is going to be Dak. Mike is going to be upset. He's not going to want to play for him, and he's going to look at that team because all these free agents, whoever they always question who is the quarterback, bro. We got Caleb Williams. We got Keenan Allen. We got DJ Moore on the defense. We got Dexter, JJ, Jaquan. You know what I'm saying? We got Byard. Like, he's going to be like, man, a young quarterback, a young defense, Eberflus. I want to go to Chicago. I can see it happening. I can see that shit happen. I would.
My gut tells me we do not make the deal. My gut. What I've seen from Poles, I think he's going to stay in his lane. My gut tells me he will not do it.
No, he's only going to not do it if he can't get what he wants.
Yeah.
He was in on Judon.
He was.
Judon didn't want to. It was the contract. What I was hearing is the contract and the fact that Judon wasn't saying, okay, well, I'm going to re-sign a new deal with Chicago. Had he been willing to do that, then Poles would have done the deal. But he wasn't going to rent him for 1 year, and the dude's 32 years old, and we got to give up capital to get him. That's the reason why we backed out and let Atlanta do it.
Right. Yeah, I'm not giving you all that. You 32 years old and you want more money from us. You know what I'm saying? It got to match. Like I say, Poles is a guy that if it matches you young and you in your prime, I'm going to sign you. He did it with Coleman.
That's why Sweat here.
Yeah.
Because
that's why Sweat.
Sweat said, we can talk about contract. And the parameters were set before the deal was even made. We just had to fill in the blanks. Right. So if he can get the parameters set, and I don't think we got a problem paying $30 million a year for a player of that caliber, knowing what he would do to our defense and our team. $30 million is a small price to pay, especially like Walker said. We got 4 years before we got to pay Caleb.
Yeah. You got to do it now.
You got to do, yeah, you got to do it now. I can see him doing it. The only reason why I see him doing it because it's a pose type deal. Young, elite talent coming into their prime. That's the only reason why I see him doing it because it fits what he's already been trying to build since he's been here. So if it's any inkling with him Ian up in those offices, you better believe Poles is looking into it. He's looking into it.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm outnumbered here, 3-1. My gut just tells me he doesn't do it, but I guess we will see. I guess we will see. So with that,
I'll love to see it, man.
So that guys, let's just do our final thoughts. Todd, I'll start with you. What are your final thoughts? Anything about Chicago Bears you want to say?
Yeah, it's crazy. We get all wrapped up in this preseason for all these guys that really probably aren't going to see the field. Like I was bummed out today. I'm like, I would have kept that guy. It's just it's before we were looking like who we can snag off other teams the last 2 or 3 years. With this whole play well and lose thing, and I'm so sick of that crap. Like now. It really was difficult to make this team, and that's good to see because it's been a long time.
So. G. Walker, thank you for joining us. Again, guys, check out CNG Podcast, and G. Walker, thank you for your service to our country. So, what are your final thoughts about the Chicago Bears?
Man, my final thoughts is one, man. Thank you for letting me come on your platform and talk football with you, man. And talk to the new guys, Todd, Chicago Clarence, man. You guys got good energy, man. You're good guy. I like you guys, man. I'm just extremely humbled to talk football. So hopefully we can do this, more in the season, man. You guys can pull up on my show with my partner CJ, and I can pull up on here, man. I'm always ready to talk football. But my final thoughts, I'm gonna talk about week 1, and I'm gonna talk about something in preseason that I didn't see enough from Caleb Williams, which is stack completions. I wanted to see 6, 7 passes in a row, 4 or 5 passes in a row. I just want to see him stack completions, man. So my final thoughts is, I think if Caleb Williams is able to stack completions that first quarter, that second quarter, and you get momentum, then I think we can have a good chance of beating the Tennessee Titans. But that was the only thing I didn't see for him in the preseason was consistent completions, man. So that's my final thoughts about that. But then last thing, I'm cool with the cuts, except for Balin Jones Jr. I did not want to see him make the team. I thought he had his opportunities already. You got this guy in the backfield. You got him playing wide receiver. So my final thoughts is that, and that's it, man. Thank you guys for having me on.
You're welcome. Chicago Clarence, what are your final thoughts about our Chicago Bears?
Well, first off, as you said, Andy, I'm going to echo my gratitude to G. Walker for serving our country. Thank you for your service. Thank you for taking the time to come on our show and share your knowledge and your energy with us. We are greatly appreciative. We just started out, and anytime that you want to come back, we'll love to have you. And if we can ever add to your show, all you got to do is call. My final thoughts are, I'm glad that we made it to the preseason without any significant injuries. I'm disappointed that Wheeler tore his ACL because I thought that guy could make the team and really contribute. But I think that this is a new era in Chicago football, unlike we have ever seen before. This guy is supposed to be the guy, and he came in under the right circumstances. And you can't look back and put a rookie quarterback in any better situation than this guy. Peyton Manning didn't have the weapons this guy had. Drew Brees didn't have the weapons this guy had. Tom Brady didn't have the weapons. Even Mahomes didn't. And so he's put in a position where he can succeed. Now you got to coach him up. And if we can do that and we can keep people from getting hurt, then I think the sky's the limit for this team, but not just for that. The sky's the limit for our franchise. I mean, Andy and Todd, we've been watching games for what now? 5-6 years together now?
Yes.
We've seen a lot of losses. We walked out of the bar a lot of times pissed off. This is our time now. I'm excited for us as fans, to finally get to what some of these other people have been getting for years and grown accustomed to winning and expecting to be in the playoffs. That's my expectation right now. This is the beginning of it. I'm excited to see where it leads us.
Well said, bro. Well said.
So I'll keep mine short, and I'll add a little funny note. Some of us have walked out of a bar without paying a tab and had to get chased down the parking lot, but I'm not saying any names. Some were so angry.
That's wrong.
I'm not saying any names. I didn't say any names. Did I say any names?
That's wrong.
I didn't hear myself say any names. I didn't say any names.
That's wrong.
So I'm just going to be quick. I enjoy watching David Kaplan or listening to David Kaplan, Jay Hood. David Kaplan uses a phrase a lot, LFG. I'm just going to keep the show PG. Let's freaking go. I'm excited. Bear down, guys. See you next time.
Peace. One love, Bear Nation.